So I'm going to talk about offloaded agency. I try to give you a little taste of what's going on in the front of artificial life and artificial intelligence. So what I'm doing is not AI in a strict sense. What I'm doing is artificial life. I think life comes first. Intelligence is always the side effect of life. So my mission is how to generate lifelike behaviors from non-living organisms like molecules, chemical reactions, and computer programs. So within 5-10 minutes, I try to explain briefly what I have been doing. So this is my handwriting of what is artificial life. So the artificial life is started in 1990 around. There are 4 different branches. Everything is starting from cybernetics. So cybernetics era, there is a von Neumann, Alan Turing, Gregory Bateson, and then also Grey-Walter. The Grey-Walter studied evolutionary robotics. And Alan Turing, as you know, he's a father of computer. And he studied what is universal computation and what computer does look like. Right? And then von Neumann studied digital life. So he invented the cellular automata. And then everybody started to understand life not only on the molecular level, but from the computer. So digital computer can also generate lifelike behaviors, right? And then Gregory Bateson, he's a philosopher, and he's always, he studied the philosophy of biology, and then is followed by Francisco Barrera, Maturana, and then many other people. And these 4 different trees entangled each other and generating very interesting streams of research, which is artificial life. And the last year, I organized Artificial Life Conference, international conference in Tokyo. So at the end, I am going to talk about this. So briefly, so when I started this artificial life research back in 1990, and then after that, 2002 or 3, Rodney Brooks, he's the father of Roomba. Maybe you know the Roomba, the vacuum cleaner. And he said, maybe we are missing something because the robot is never become alive, or maybe the program is still, it's just a computer program, it's not alive, right? So what's missing there? So we've been discussing what's missing here, and then maybe the few parameters are wrong. What I mean by parameter is like, the size of this microphone or the sound, amplitude of the sounds. We can change those amplitude and sizes and everything. That's what we call parameters. So every model, every mathematical model has a parameters. And if we can change the parameters, then we have the different behaviors. So maybe when the model becomes complex, we have tons of parameters to fix. And we don't know what is the right set of the parameters. So that's why he says a parameter is wrong. Or maybe the complexity threshold of the model is not good enough. So we try to make a model as simple as possible because my background is theoretical physics, and the physicists want to make a minimal model, right? The smaller, the better, right? But for understanding life, we need complex models. The complexity level must go up, right? That's another big problem. And the third thing is lacking computer power, right? So back in 1987 or 1990, when artificial life started, we didn't have any computer power, strong computer power, right? But now, the supercomputer in 1990 is now just a small computer like iPhone that I have, is much stronger than the supercomputer in 1990. So maybe the computing power is not good enough, right? The life requires more computational power. That's another thing. Or maybe, fundamental principle is still missing. There's a theory of relativity by Einstein in 1995, and then there's a quantum theory in 1930, and then chaos theory comes out in 1960. All these big discovery in physics. Then maybe we are expecting to see a fourth revolutionary discovery in theory, which may give understanding what the life is. So that's something that we are missing still, right? So fourth factors we are thinking maybe why the robot is still not alive, but the computer program is not alive. but we are missing those 4 factors. So that's something that we discussed back in 2002. So this is what we call Brooks juice. So final juice to the robot that makes Roomba becomes life, right? So the artificial life is a mission. The mission of artificial life is try to find this Brooks juice, right? So the question is, what is Brooks juice? Is one of those 4 factors, or maybe something that we still have to understand? So this is Brooks himself. So I organized the conference last year, and he came to my conference, and he was a keynote speaker, and he says, he didn't know this is called Brooks juice, but we have to find out what's Brooks juice. What makes robot, or what makes computer program a real life, right? So just give you one example. So this is what we call a Craig Reynolds Boyd model. To try to make a flocking behavior, we only need 3 simple rule set. One is separation from each other. The other one is alignment of the heading directions. The third one is cohesion. So they try to get together, right? So these 3 rules, very simple: cohesion, separation, and alignment, gives you this flocking behavior. It's simple, circulating behaviors. However, because we didn't have enough computer power, we just have such a simple, animation, right? But now we have a big computer power, right? So this is what I simulated with K computer in Japan. It's millions of birds is flying together, and then just increasing the numbers of the agents from 1,000 to 1 million. And then there's a qualitative changes. You don't have to put any other, sophisticated something, but simply increasing the number of agents gives you a different collective behaviors. So maybe the collective behavior gives you the one answer what explains how the life emerges, right? So that's one of the things that I've been doing. But still, we don't know whether this is going to be the life or not, because it's still live in a computer. You cannot extract, you cannot bring out from the computer to the real world, right? So in Artificial Life 2018, I did organize, more than 450 people came to Tokyo. Then I'm adding 2 new factors. One is a messy environment. The living things in the computer or the robots lives in very clean, simple environment. Maybe we have to bring robot into the city, right? We need a messy environment. That's one answer, maybe. The second thing is human living things as an input to robots and computer programs. So the agents, the real agent is necessary to make agents more lively and try to interact with other living systems. That's what I did. So I did with Keiichiro Shibuya. He's a music composer and an artist. So I used Android, which I'm collaborating with Hiroshi Ishiguro from Osaka University, make a human-like Android to make him a conductor of the music orchestra. Okay, so I briefly give you the part of the orchestra that I did. this is the, yeah, can you, thank you so much. Okay, so, what I want to say here is deep learning is just a part of AI, right? Deep learning is not equal to AI, of course, right? We use a bunch of deep learning, networks inside the robot. But the point is, we can make an autonomous agent. AI is not, is not trying to dominate us, right? We are collaborating with AI, and AI is also very creative, right? As I said here, that at the Barbican Center, that I brought my Android to Barbican Center in London, and I presented. And the theme of the museum was the technology that is able to teach itself can endlessly surprise us with apparent creativity, and its ability to see, hear, and move. This is exactly the truth, right? So we don't have to worry about how the Android is or the AI is going to take over our occupation or anything. However, they can give us new kind of creativity, right? New kind of expressions of what we can see, and we can expand our scalable perspectives of the world, right? So I'm very positive about how we can use Android, AI, especially artificial life. We have to understand what is life by using new technologies, and that brings us a new kind of culture and technology and science. Thanks so much.